I always believed Emily was the one. We'd been together for 3 years, long enough for me to know her quirks, her habits, and her dreams. She loved classic romance movies, the kind where the hero sweeps the girl off her feet with grand gestures. I thought, why not give her that? So I planned the perfect proposal. A rooftop restaurant with fairy lights strung above us, a violinist playing her favorite song, a custom-made ring with an engraving only she would understand. Weeks of savings, weeks of planning, all building up to this one night. When Emily walked in, she looked like something out of a dream. Her red dress shimmered under the city lights, her smile lit up the table, and for a moment, I thought my nerves would melt. Dinner was perfect. We laughed, reminisced, and held hands across the table like we used to in the early days. Then, the violinist began to play. The waiters slowed their steps, and I felt every eye turn toward me as I rose from my chair. My heart hammered against my chest. I knelt on one knee. "Emily," I said, voice trembling, "you're my best friend, my partner, my everything. Will you marry me?" The rooftop fell into silence. Emily froze. Her eyes darted around at the watching crowd. She forced a nervous smile, leaned closer, and whispered, "Not here, can we talk about this later?" Gasps rippled through the tables around us. The violinist stopped mid-note, awkwardly lowering his bow. My hands shook as I stood, trying to salvage the moment with a weak smile. Emily hugged me quickly, like a band-aid over a wound, and the night stumbled forward in painful silence. Driving her home, she stared out the window, barely speaking. My chest felt heavy, as though every breath carried the weight of her unspoken words. When I dropped her off, she kissed my cheek lightly. "We'll talk soon," she said, slipping inside without looking back. I sat in my car for half an hour, numb. I hadn't expected a fairy tale. Yes, but I also hadn't prepared for humiliation in front of strangers. When I finally dragged myself home, I poured a glass of whiskey and sat on the couch staring at the unopened champagne I had planned to pop with her. Then my phone buzzed. It was a group chat notification. Her group chat. My heart skipped when I saw my name flash in the preview. I opened it. And read, "LOL, his proposal was so cringe. Thank God I said no." 3 laughing emojis followed. Her friends' replies came quickly. "OMG, are you serious? That's hilarious. You dodged a bullet, girl. That's so embarrassing for him. Yikes, can't believe he thought that was romantic." The words blurred. My chest tightened, face burning with humiliation. She hadn't just rejected me, she mocked me. To her friends. Behind my back. But then I noticed something strange. She hadn't realized she'd included me in the chat. My name was right there. She had humiliated me publicly, and now privately. My shame hardened into something else. Something sharper. I didn't reply. I didn't call her. I didn't even cry. I just whispered to myself, "If she thinks I'm the fool in this story, she's wrong." I woke up the next morning with a clear head and one goal: take back my dignity. First, I screenshotted every word of that group chat. The insults, the emojis, the mockery. Proof. Then I called Daniel, my old college buddy who now owned the rooftop restaurant. "Hey man," I said, trying to sound casual. "Do you still have last night's security footage? The camera facing the tables?" "Yeah, why?" "I need it. Just trust me." Within an hour, he sent me the clip. There it was, me down on one knee, pouring my heart out, and Emily looking like she'd rather vanish into thin air. The pain stabbed again as I watched, but this time, anger steadied me. "That weekend," Emily texted. "Can we meet? I feel like last night was just awkward. We can move past it." Move past it. She had reduced my humiliation to awkward. Still, I smiled through the phone screen. "Of course. Actually, I've got a surprise for you. Let's do dinner tomorrow at Daniel's place." She sent back a heart emoji. She thought I was trying again. The next night, I hosted a small dinner at the same rooftop. Emily walked in, glowing, wearing another stunning dress. She looked at the decorations, at our mutual friends gathered around, and whispered to me, Are you going to ask again? I just smiled. Something like that. When dessert plates were cleared, I stood. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here tonight. Emily and I want to share something important with you all. The lights dimmed. The projector flickered on. First came the video of the proposal. Gasps spread across the room as everyone watched me kneel, ring in hand, while Emily awkwardly rejected me. Her face turned pale. She clutched my arm. What are you doing? She hissed. I didn't answer. Then came the screenshots. Her exact words. LOL, his proposal was so cringe. Thank God I said no. And the laughing replies. The silence was deafening. Our friends shifted uncomfortably. Emily's sister glared at her, jaw tight with disappointment. Someone muttered, Wow, that's just cruel. Emily stood, trembling. Wait, this isn't what it looks like. I was just nervous, I didn't mean it. I cut her off, calm and clear. Emily, you didn't just say no. You mocked me. You humiliated me to your friends. You turned what should have been the most meaningful night of my life into a joke. Tears streamed down her face. Please, can we just… No, I said firmly. You thanked God you said no? Well, thank God you did, because you just saved me from the biggest mistake of my life. The room erupted. Applause. Some people hugged me. Others shook their heads at Emily. She covered her face and bolted out, mascara streaking. Later that night, her texts poured in, apologies, excuses, desperate pleas. I didn't reply. Instead, I posted the screenshots and video online with a caption. Her answer wasn't what hurt. It was what she said afterward. The post exploded. Thousands of comments poured in, people defending me, others calling out her cruelty. Emily, the girl who thought she could make me a laughingstock, became a public lesson in respect. She wanted me to be the fool. Instead, she became the punchline of her own joke. And me? I walked away with my dignity, my pride, and the sweet satisfaction of knowing that the world finally saw her true colors.